Good day, guys, gals, and everyone. I am reviewing from Synapse Films Unearthed and Untold, The Path to Pet Sematary. It is a 97-minute documentary. It was released back in 2015, but the Blu-ray is just coming out, or has just come out. And it is, of course, about Pet Sematary. It's more so about the movie than the book. It does discuss the beginnings of the book, the idea. The idea spawned in Stephen King's mind when he was living in Maine, and there was a pet cemetery behind his house where he was writing, where he was living and staying. And then his son almost ran onto the road, and he saved him from getting hit by a car. And all those elements, all those things that happened to him, basically formed the idea of Pet Sematary. And then so he wrote the book. And of course, Pet Sematary has that kid's death in it, and it can be a very hard, a hard read. I personally haven't read it yet, but I am starting today, actually. But I know enough about the story to know that, from what I've heard, it's a very hard read. And to Stephen King, it was also a hard sell. He thought no one would want to buy it, so he kind of shelved it for a while. But he moved to a different publisher, and then Doubleday owed him some money, some royalties, so they were like, hey, just give us the script. So they gave him Pet Sematary, and they made the book. The rest is history. And then they wanted to make a movie. Well, I can't remember who it was. They have a little blurb with her at the beginning. I think it was Wendy something. And she was trying to get the movie made for a really long time. But the companies kept saying, no, Stephen King's done. Stephen King. We're not doing movies about Stephen King anymore. And then in 1988, the writer's strike happened, and they needed scripts that were really well written. And there was that Pet Sematary script. And she was like, well, now we can do it. And at first they were like, no, but then they were like, fine, let's do it. So they got Stephen King involved, and they got Mary Lambert on board to be the director. Mary Lambert, I should have brought this up earlier, because I wanted to confirm a few things. Sorry about this. Lots of dead air. Maybe I'll speed up this. Whoa, that is not the Mary Lambert I was looking for. Director. There she is. They mentioned it, she's done Madonna music videos. But I feel like... Ooh, she did Urban Legends Bloody Mary in 2005. Poor girl. Yeah. Boo. Did she actually direct Pet Sematary 2? Yeah, she did. She directed Pet Sematary 2. Little did I know. And anyways, she did a Tales from the Crypt episode. So yeah, she's done a few things. Very good director. Anyway, she came on. She's going to do Pet Sematary, and then, that's the movie. I'm not talking about the movie, I'm talking about the documentary. So the documentary is I'm going to read a little bit here. It's from two New England filmmakers who both really loved Pet Sematary, the movie. And they were like, let's go see the filming locations, because it was filmed in Maine. Funny enough, I live right next to Maine, and I haven't been to the filming locations, but it's like a couple hours drive. Well, more than a little couple hours, but anyways, it's like right next door. Why haven't I been there? But after seeing this, I'm definitely going. And so they go up, and John Campopino, sorry, buddy, and Justin White. They both go up. They find a few of the locations. And they meet some local townspeople, and they hear some stories, some anecdotes and stuff like that. So they're like, man, there's a lot of locations that we don't know about, and there's a lot of story that's never been told before. So they wanted to, it wasn't so much a documentary, but they thought maybe they could build like a website or an article, and then eventually it turned into a documentary. And they spent nearly 5 years from the book to the film to the cult status. And Unearthed and Untold, I believe it also had a Kickstarter, I think, and they kind of did some Blu-ray copies of that, and then Synapse Films kind of got the rights to it to release it. So it starts off at the beginnings of the book. He goes into the filming. He goes into like the location scouts. Interviews almost everyone involved with this movie. Like almost everyone. Oddly enough, Stephen King's not interviewed, which I thought was weird. I mean, they have little bits of like when he was at University of Massachusetts, he was talking about it a little bit. So if it happened, there's no like sit down with him. Huh, that's weird. And but there's like Mary Lambert, there's Denise Crosby, Dale Midkiff, Miko Hughes, Brad Greenquist, Andrew Hubasek, Susan Blomart. Man, I am terrible at these names. The Birdall twins, the little girl in the movie, she was actually a twin. She has an identical twin. They're both smoking hot, so that's cool. And they both can act. And Michael Lombard. I wish I knew who plays the guy with the busted head in the movie. He is very knowledgeable about the film. I can't remember his name for some reason, but he's very knowledgeable about the film. He's really good interview. I found the main guy. He was pretty hilarious. God, I can't remember any of these people's names. This is just freaking terrible. Let's see here. Excuse me. Still not 100%. Ugh. Dale Midkiff. Yeah, so Lewis Creed. Brad Greenquist. Brad Greenquist, is that what I said? Yeah, he plays Victor. Dale Midkiff plays Lewis Creed, the father. He talks about working with kids and how it was super easy to work with kids, but the cats were another fucking story, is his words. So they kind of talk about some of the cat, like there was multiple cats that they used to film. Fred Gwynn, who played Judd. You don't go down that road here. Little trucks go on that road here. There's a lot of cool archival footage of him on set. It's just a very informative documentary. And it also has 2 audio commentaries, both by the creators of the documentary, John and Justin. And then there's also a podcast commentary. There's edited and alternate scenes of the documentary, not anything to do with the movie, but just of the documentary, just alternate takes of the interviews, different stuff like that. There's a video interview with the creators. The only thing I have to say is Justin White, when he's on the documentary, he's a little too, it's not robotic sounding, but you can tell it almost sounds like he's reading something. So he just needs to relax just a little bit. No offense to you, Justin. No offense. Just let some tension out when you're doing your interview. There is Pet Tales from the Cutting Room Floor featurette. There is Pet Sematary location photo compilation. There is documentary poster art concepts. There's rare on-set footage, which I think ran like, was it 18 minutes of like on-set footage, like old footage. You see a lot of it during the documentary, but they have it all kind of right there. There's a documentary sizzle reel and a promotional trailer. So that is the definitive documentary on the making of Pet Sematary. This is the one cover that you'll see on store shelves, so it's a little shiny. And then when you open it up, there is a reversed sleeve of the Micmac burial ground. Yeah, just kind of an above shot. Yep. So that's it. That is the definitive documentary, Unearthed and Untold. Really awesome documentary. Makes me want to crack right into the book, and it also makes me want to put the movie on because I haven't seen it in a long time, and I grew up loving it. It is very hard to watch. It's so weird because before you, I know people say this all the time, but before you have a kid, you see a kid's death on a movie or something like that, it's sad, but it doesn't affect you as much until you have a kid. And then when you have a kid, dear God, it's so weird. It's like a trigger just sets, and I don't even want to think about it. So that is Unearthed and Untold. If you love Pet Sematary, you love Stephen King, I definitely think you should pick it up. It's a must buy. That's what I say. So I hear some scratching at the door. So I am going to go check and see what is happening. What is the scratching? No, you're dead. We buried you. Oh, God. No.